What's going on, guys? Jeff in here. Cincinnati on the screen. Note a little bit different than my normal Cincinnati setup would be. We'll talk about that later. But again, you're seeing some numbers and some rundowns. Double rudder and an AA mod on there gives you a little bit better chance. Torpedoes are solid. Okay, do not sleep on the torps. I know that people make fun of them because they're very slow. But, I mean, we're talking about torpedoes that have 12-kilometer reach, okay? And then there you see auxiliary room, and then it's going to be the pure Citadel. There you go. Raised Citadel, big Citadel. You're going to take a lot of damage if you get hit in it, okay? Like I was saying before, feel free to obviously pay attention to the team setup there. A lot of cruisers, right? A lot of destroyers. A couple things I want to point out. Italian line, you finally get a sonar, okay? Obviously, it's premium, right? So you have that, but you get a sonar, okay? And you have your fighter as well to help fight off some of that AA. And then again, let's talk about why I have Cincinnati on here. Basically, my normal Cincinnati build includes something along the lines of usually beyond range for the 10% increase, the fire, number 2 for igniter, then you have punch through, and I like to do steer clear, obviously with fully packed. Okay, my inspirations are still Makawa for reducing that detectability, and Kuznetsov for giving it a little more range. But on this ship, Abruzzi, you are going to struggle to do penetration damage with your HE rounds and AP for that matter, but especially your HE. So what I did was I traded beyond range for burn it down XXL. Why? You get an extra 2.5%, right? So that brings the fire total for this ship up to 11.5%. Now, you may say, not that great, but my reload, 7.5% or 7.5 seconds with 11.5% fire chance out of 10 guns, okay? That you're going to get a decent number of fires here, okay? That's my point. Basically, it's trying to create this ship to make the damage dealing ability of this ship greater. Now, you see here, obviously, we're getting in a little bit of a fight here, but one more thing I want to point out. Even with the double rudder, okay, we still have 9.7 kilometers, okay, detectability. Pretty good, pretty good. So I like that aspect of it. Now, a lot of people would say, well, why would you pursue Abruzzi? Why would you do that? You know, whatever. But my main point on this is I like ships that are challenging. I enjoy playing ships that are very difficult or people consider to be difficult. And so along with that, I personally really do enjoy playing Cheshire. I enjoy playing Indianapolis. Basically, I enjoy playing Tier 6 premium ships that are a lot of times up-tiered or are considered to be fragile and dangerous dangerous to basically play. I enjoy the challenge. I think that it's more enjoyable when you have that as opposed to just playing like Wichita all the time or something like that. Again, if that's your thing, feel free to play it. You know, it's a great ship. But I enjoy a challenge, and hence why I decided to roll with Abruzzi, and I'm actually enjoying it for the most part. Difficult ship to play, yes. Very unforgiving, absolutely. But when you have a good game, you feel very, very accomplished in it. So that's why I like it. I actually do really like this. And you make some good coin in it, too. Okay, you're going to make a good chunk of change. You're going to make good, other XPs and etc. So you see there, Broadside Trento. And we get him for a good chunk. All right, and again, these guns are reloading super quick, right? So we already have more shots out. Leander's sitting there. Okay, so there's our first sinking. Leander's sitting there. We just get the torps off, right? I mean, he's basically not paying attention to us. We're able to basically sneak up on him and push him. Okay, and you see there, enemy torps are out. Okay, we're throwing salvo out here. We're doing some damage, getting some ricochets. So this is my point too, right? So you're seeing a little bit of the issue that I was just describing with this Abruzzi. Obviously, you have the lower caliber guns, okay? We're talking about 152s on this ship, and you're going to struggle to do pen damage. But again, we have the sonar, okay? Now, let's talk about sonar real quick while we're seeing it. 3-kilometer detectability on torpedoes, 4.2 on ships, okay? So that's a big deal. That's a big deal for me, okay? Finally getting an Italian cruiser that has sonar is important to me. I really like the Italian line, but I want more of those. So you see there, we made the switch to HE after a couple of ineffective salvos against Leander. We're still throwing out HE. Now, I'm guessing here, because you're going to see in a second, he's going to turn. I think he's expecting more HE from us. Now, we switched to the AP. Again, we're trying to switch back. And, of course, in anticipating what he's going to do, which is obviously open the door a little more. If he thinks that I'm just shooting HE, then you might as well get a flat broadside. So in anticipating him making that decision, we switched preemptively to the AP. That's going to basically help us knock him out of the game. So we are, 5 minutes into this one here? We already got 3 sinkings, almost 40k in damage, 39.7, okay? Again, power of knowing your armor angling, knowing your shell types, being able to use the speed of Abruzzi to flank. I mean, we're talking about a ship that with a damage-centric commander and survival-centric ship build, 36 knots in the water, 3.9 rudder. Now, a lot of people say that rudder's not fast enough or whatever. That's fine, okay? My only objection or rebuff to that would be this ship, even if you... Okay, so let's talk about it. So let's say if I were to go out and I were to put Minbelly on there, okay? My Minbelly commander is basically set up, same inspirations, but you have that little extra bonus, okay? So if I were to do Minbelly on here, it goes down to 3.2. Now, if I were to put an inspiration centered, around rudder shift, yeah, okay, I can get into 2.8s, maybe 2.7s, okay? But again, I'm not going to have the fire chance, okay? I'm going to be at 7% chance to set fire. I just, to me, when I look at the trade-off between what you gain and lose, I struggle to do AP pen damage with the Minbelly build. I struggle to do HE damage, and hence why I've come to the initial conclusion, as of right now, that Sansonetti is my choice on Abruzzi. Now, a lot of times on these heavy cruisers or heavy ore cruisers, I come to the same conclusion that I like the damage deal commander. Feel free to look back at my Cheshire builds, right? I have Fraser on there. But I don't have them spec'd just for damage when I have that set up there. So that's one thing that I want to talk about, because a lot of times people say, well, the survivability commanders, yes, I agree, they have their place, they have their importance. But at the same time, in my humble opinion, you need to know when it's time to use your damage commanders and when it's time to say, hey, this commander's not the greatest. We really need to... this setup isn't the greatest for this commander. And, this ship struggles to do damage, so we need a damage-centric commander to kind of give that little boost, that little pickup, And that's what Abruzzi needs. So you see here, obviously, we're in a bad spot, but we got the assist cap on C. We are capping B. My plan here is to basically try to start closing some of this, we actually ended up capturing C. So that's our second cap of the game. We didn't assist. We have 2 caps. And 3 sinkings here. Now again, the torpedoes on this, they reload very quickly, which I enjoy. I like. Okay, I like using torpedoes as a zoning mechanism, if that makes sense. My objective when I'm shooting these torpedoes is not to, stealth torp and whatever. These things go 12 kilometers. I use them to try to limit access to certain areas and throw them in a high travel. Highly compact areas and areas that are, or channels that are choke points that are well traveled. And so what I like to do is I like to basically throw them out, see what I can get damage wise, see if I can get some torp hits, burn through a damage conf. Then I can start trying to set some fire, start doing some more damage, all that good stuff, right? That's what I like to use these Italian torpedoes for. So again, let's basically break down my thoughts on Abruzzi. Very challenging ship, but I find it enjoyable. All right. Again, I've made my point kind of known on where I sit in this game. I like challenging ships. I like ships that are difficult to play. I'm not afraid of playing a ship that's difficult. I'm not, because I think that I'm okay enough to make it work. Now, obviously, here we tried to sail around the edge, and we ended up trying to catch these guys with the proverbial with their pants down. Algerie going broadside. So again, I'm trying to basically not get totally sunk and messed up here. Not the best by me. So ended up running into the island there, and now I'm getting focus fired a little bit, and we are in a bad way. So again, we're just getting the torpedoes off. We're not sitting here lining up for 10 minutes on. Oh, I gotta line this torp up. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. No, just get the shot off. Get the shot off and see what happens. Okay. And so we're basically getting smoked here. My hope was that I could basically survive some of this. And I was hoping New Orleans would give me a flat broadside or something that I could really punish him on. Get a quick sinking, maybe sink the Moss. Do something like along those lines where I could really rack up some of this damage, get a sinking or two, maybe get the Kraken, maybe close that ship count, make it almost even. And see there we get a good salvo, 5+ K. Front guns go out, that's another 4K. Rear guns go out again. Unfortunately, not the best luck on that. And I was just able to get those front guns off again. Puts us up to 97 plus 1,000 damage. So again, you saw basically when people tell you that you can't do damage in Abruzzi or that you're a liability in Abruzzi. Yes, you don't have the same immediate power that some of these other vessels have, but with a double rudder shift and an AA setup, I still have 9.7 kilometer detectability, some of the best at the tier, without using a concealment mod, right? And I have under 4-second rudder, okay, also great. And with this setup, trading the range for the extra fire chance, you actually do some fire damage in this ship. Now, obviously, you look here and you say, oh, well, you didn't do any fire damage in this game, right? You didn't get a single fire set. Yes, but look at my majority of my shell selection in this game. A lot of it was AP, okay? So, just so people don't think I'm full of it, I will have another game coming out in Abruzzi because, number one, I enjoy playing this ship. So, I'll have some of that for you guys coming out. And you guys can basically see what the HE damage dealing ability is on Abruzzi with that increased chance of fire up to 11.5%. So, Abruzzi, very challenging. Okay, just to highlight some recaps here. Very challenging, but you do make a lot of coin when you get those chances. The torpedoes are nice at 12 kilometers. Use them as a aerial denial torpedo style. Do not be the center of attention. And when you get a good game in it, it's a very rewarding ship. Sansonetti is my commander choice. I recommend him. So again, we had a pretty solid outing here in Abruzzi. Almost 100K in damage. Almost 2K XP and a loss. If you guys like the video, leave it a like. Subscribe. And I will see you guys out on the high seas.